We trust that time is linear, that it proceeds eternally.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Behind the Streams. We've got a lot to talk about today. We are going to be talking about Twitch updates. They made a huge update to the banning system that is going to make a huge difference to us mods. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be taking questions the whole time. My name's Wes Sisa. You can find me modding for Loco and Lucid Fox and hosting here and modding here as well. And if you want, you can find me on Twitter, but I never really suggest that. I'm not that exciting. This is my lovely co-host, Adorka Bleem. Bleem, yes.
Hi, I'm Adorkable. Adorkable me. Rini is also my name, you know. You can find me every morning over at McLaffy Taffy's, where I mod for him. In the evening, I tend to use that time for Streamer Square stuff. I am the head of communications and operations for Streamer Square, so I am all over this place. But yeah, so I got distracted because in like 2 seconds I already thought about Animal Crossing and just
I know.
It's real, guys.
I feel bad for pulling anyone away from Animal Crossing right now. I would probably be doing the same.
But you know, we've got some super cool things that are pretty awesome to talk about as well. Maybe, you know, maybe just as hype. I don't know.
I mean, this is hype for me. I'm excited about this. This will make a big difference in a lot of the streams that I deal with and a lot of the, lazy, low-level rookie hour trolls that I deal with. So, I mean, I was super hyped to hear about this. This announcement came out, 4 days ago now, I believe, on the 27th?
Yeah. Came out recently. There's already been some changes with it because Twitch is doing so many things on their back end that they're finding a few bugs, they're fixing things, which is great. They're not just going to release it and have it crash everything. So I appreciate the fact that, they're taking the time to make sure that when they do implement it, it works the way it's supposed to work. So yeah, the big thing is Twitch released or announced that they are going to be updating how they handle bans and blocks.
This is huge.
Yeah. So we've talked about this a lot, not just here, but like if you watch Stream Scene, Hotfix, we've had a lot of conversations on this channel about the need for better moderation tools, better moderation support from Twitch as a platform. And I think this is a big step. They listened to us, finally.
Yes. It may not be everything that we asked for, and it may not be perfectly implemented. And we're going to talk about some of the ways that it may not be the ideal tool that we hoped it was going to be, but we're also going to be talking about the ways that it still does make a huge difference and why we're excited about it. So I guess to start off, why was the original ban system so bad? What were some of the problems that we had with the ban system?
Well, one of the first ones is it's so easy to get around.
It's the big one, right?
Yeah, it's really easy to come back. If you were watching last night with the Stream Scene, you'll hear from Frank the Pegasus talking about how she had someone who just came back repeatedly, like would wait for that followers only limit to end and come back. And so they had set it to followers for 1 week just to have it so she could finally have a safe chat to have. And that's just, kind of ridiculous. We shouldn't have to go through such extreme measures just to have a pleasant streaming experience. And if you've been in her community, like that's one of the places where I live in the afternoons just for fun, because it's a time for me to be a viewer like everyone else, to not mod, to just enjoy it. It's one of the most fun, I don't want to say like overly positive, like you have to be happy there, but like it's a very real and loving community, and to have that come in just like really, people
it's
don't
a
have like,
it's just such a comfy place. I think
yeah,
they use the word comfy, and that's such a great way
yeah,
to describe it. And to have that ruined, and especially so easily, is
hmm
just, it's very frustrating. It makes the streamer feel helpless, and especially in a place that they should own. Their stream
yeah,
should be a place that they have complete control over, and they can make it a safe place if they want. And not saying that their ban system encouraged it, but their ban system was so easy to get around that, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it didn't do anything to stop it.
And her story is just one of many stories where people are doing whatever they can. And, in this time where more and more people are working from home, doing school from home, we're all home on our computers right now. And that means people have more free time. And so we're going to see an increase in trolls happening. I hate to say it, but we probably are.
Yeah,
I mean, they're going to
yeah,
blame it on, like, oh, kids just aren't in school, but, trolls come in all age, all shapes and
yeah.
sizes, and we're just going to see more of them. So these new band tools are going to, like, I'm kind of excited for them to come out.
Yeah. Well, another big one that we've always complained about too is, why can a banned user, or why could a banned user still see chat?
Yeah.
Like, why was that person still allowed to just sit there and watch people talk crap? And like, if someone came in and they were being super toxic and immediately got banned, they could sit there, and any moderator who spoke out against them or said, yeah, I got them out of here, that moderator would be getting a DM, because the blocked
Mhm.
person could still see that. Again, this is something that we all know there is a very easy way to get around. We're not going to talk about that because we're not in the business of helping these people, but
Yeah.
it's every step that they put in place is super helpful.
So I'm
We'll
actually
go
curious
ahead.
because one of the things that is happening in chat is one of the things that I've wanted to know about, and apparently it's live. I was told it's not live yet, but
Wait, is
I'm
mod
curious
view
how
a
to
thing
find
now?
mod view is apparently a thing, and I don't know how you find it. Oh, there it is. Try mod view. Go
Oh
to
my.
mod view.
Oh, I don't want to mess with this while I've got the all the stream stuff going and captures here and
Yeah.
there and every. I want to know. Tell me about it. Like, okay, we're
Um,
derailing right here to talk about mod view.
it's super cool. It's mod view is a customizable channel mode that includes everything you need to moderate channels on Twitch. You'll find all the features you're already using, and also a few new ones. So we have a new canvas. This is where all your tools are. There's mod action, auto mod queue, chat. We can keep an eye on the doc so we can see how many mods are in chat. I think that's how many I don't know. There's a little thing that I don't really understand what it is. Quick stats, Swift Rage. What is? I don't know. If you don't need a certain widget, you can ignore it. All the context. Okay, I'm gonna. There's 10 of these things. I'm going to skip all for now. I'm going to take a screenshot of this real quick so we can add it to our presentation.
Yeah,
So you
just
guys
throw it in
can
as the next slide.
yeah, so you guys can see it's actually, let me make this full screen so we can actually have a better view of what this all looks like. Live TV, our live streaming right now, guys. Like, this is
Yeah,
new
I
and
mean,
cool.
yeah, this is how we're doing it today. I'm sorry. There's a show about modding. If mod chat comes out as we're live,
This
I mean,
was not a feature that was available this morning when I was modding for Taffy. So this is new and probably was just launched within the last couple of hours, would be my guess, because we're on California time for everything on this.
it wasn't
So,
available 10 minutes ago. Oh my gosh, this
oh
is hype.
wow.
We are breaking news right now. Everyone, say hi to YouTube.
Okay, so new slide. Get rid of this. Add in a picture from my computer.
Yeah, they made it live for this show. They were like, it's mod day. Streamer Square's
Yeah.
going live. We know
All
what
right,
we need to do.
it's the next slide, so hopefully it should show up.
Okay, it's
Or
going
actually,
to
it's the
be.
next two down because It's after the official announcement.
Okay,
So
I had to refresh, so everybody's getting a live view of this. Okay. Twitch updates bans and blocks.
hmm So this is pretty neat. You can see the users in chat, which is great. You can see the actions, so you can kind of know like quickly how to do things. Um,
So wait, what goes in mod actions?
Mod actions would
We'll
be
show.
timeouts, chat mode changes, any kind of mod actions. Like normally we see them in the list, like so and so banned this person, so and so timed out this person. Um, but there are other
Oh,
things you can add. It's looking like each mod can change this stuff up.
auto
Um,
mod queue.
that's the activity feed. Okay. Um,
What? There's just extra info in the top left up there. I'm guessing
yeah,
that's
so it has your session
live
time,
time.
how many active mods are there, which is amazing because it's nice to know how many active mods are there because that way you know if you can help people. Yep. Scomar just tested. Um, I can see the mod action that Carly Cartoon's message was just deleted. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Um, so yeah, and I can see the activity feed. I don't really understand what the activity feed is. I can see whispers.
Where
What's
are the
new in
whispers
feedback?
though?
It's underneath that
Oh,
little
I see.
activity feed. That little, yeah.
I see. I'm doing this
It
all via the slide that you sent me. This is
yeah.
so cool though. This is so exciting.
Let's see. You can have dark mode automatically. You can add or remove widgets, which um yeah, these are basically it's active mods, activity feed, auto mod queue, chat,
I
mod actions, players, session, whispers.
I
Those are your
love
widgets so far.
that there is channel tools on the side, and that's like a whole
hmm
separate thing. If
hmm
you mod for a streamer that does followers only mode a lot of times you have
hmm
to quickly prepare for a raid by turning off followers only mode as soon as you hear the raid, turning it back
Yep.
on quickly. In some channels, we do that like 8 times a day, depending on how many raids
hmm
and stuff there are. So having that in its own section instead of having to open up the cog and then find it there,
hmm
that's super useful.
Yeah, and this is a tool that they announced last year at TwitchCon, at least as far as I was told by Twitch staff recently. Just as like 2 days ago, Twitch staff was telling me about this feature, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is coming down the line. It's coming today for us, which is amazing. Because
Now,
this is not too far off from the creator dashboard, and it is in modules just like that, so you can rearrange this however
mhm.
you like, so it is visually appealing for you. You have whatever actions you need. This is great.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I wonder if it is going to stay consistent between channels that I mod for. Like if I put chat over
There's
here and put the channel actions over here,
mhm.
if I go to another channel.
I'm hoping it will because I think the dashboard does that. You'll notice on the bottom left, there's at the very bottom, it's part of this channel,
Hmm.
news updates, editing it, and then above that is um, essentially it says other channels you follow, and it has 22 live. If I click this, it shows everyone else who I follow who's live. Um, the ones that I mod for are on top. So there's another stream that I mod for right now, and it's right on top, and so I can tell I can switch between my channels quickly.
This is so cool. All right, you heard it here first. I approve of the mod view. um,
This is really really amazing. So yeah, this mod view is going to kind of revolutionize how we do things. It is completely a command center for mods. Um, and it looks like they probably talked to mods about what we wanted. Um,
yeah.
so I'm really interested in this. I'm kind of curious to know if we add in things like notes on people. So I'm going to add in a
Hmm.
mod comment on Carly because Carly, you're just going to be our test person today. Um, if this mod comment that I add, if it's going to show up in the mod actions.
That would be great, because otherwise I don't think there's any way to easily see
It
that.
does not.
All
That's
right.
something that we would like to have. It does, however, when you click on a user's name in the chat in the mod panel, it goes straight into users and chat. So it's not it's not this little floating card above chat. It's over here, and I can see all of her chat messages.
Oh, it popped it into like another module when you opened it?
The module on the far right where it says users and chat, where the users list is, the person that you click on, then it takes up that entire screen, and I can actually see everything that they've said. I can see their timeouts. I can see their bans. I can see the mod comment from here. It doesn't. I would like to see the mod comments go into mod actions.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's totally fine.
Huge. That's huge.
And it's kind of nice that I can just click on someone's name there and find out about them and not have it overlay over my chat. So I'm not missing things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so this is nice job, Twitch.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Make sure you're following Streamer Square. I have a strong feeling that we'll be talking about this more in the near future.
Yes.
We will definitely be exploring and playing with this, and letting y'all know anything fun or fancy we find in there. Okay, so
So yeah, we're gonna explore this more, and I have a feeling that probably sometime tonight or tomorrow, Wes and I will do a video that we can put out on Twitter for Streamer Square. I mean, we might just do it after the show tonight, just to have it there. So if you missed this, or if anyone missed this, send this out to your mod friends. Let your crew know. This is a big thing, and I am so happy.
And it's something that might take a little bit of setting up too. Like when you go to the dashboard and you look at it and you're like, well, this is kind of useless, but then you take 30 minutes setting it up and you're like, oh, well, now this is my go-to hub for everything. It's fantastic. I love it.
All of these modules can pop out. So if you want to just have free flowing modules on your computer, like on your desktop, you can do that. For the auto mod queue, you can clear expired, you can clear denied, you can see permitted terms, you can see blocked terms, you can see the settings. And in the mod actions, you can choose what you're going to see there. Bans and unbans, timeouts and untimeouts, message deletions, chat mode changes, auto mod messages, raids, hosts, mods, and unmods. Or you can just click all. This is great. This is so great.
It's fantastic. Yes, we're going to go so much more into that. I guess we'll veer back to what we were supposed to be talking about today, which is another super huge change that's super awesome. So we're still in the same hype mode here. But we are talking. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, as I said, we're getting into the whole changes with bans and blocks. So one of the things that happens when you now block someone is it takes them out of your follower list. That person's no longer following you. I think that's pretty great. That's something people have asked for. I did hear that if you unblock them, it puts them back in. And I don't know what it does with their sub, if they were subbed. I don't think it can unsub. It's not going to refund them, obviously. Their money is the streamers.
As far as I've seen, that issue has been resolved, and may not have even been an issue in the first place.
Well,
but
let's jump back up to slide 3 real quick. The official announcement from Twitch support.
Yes, that's the one I'm on.
Yeah. And so, this is talking about how it removes this from your followers. And then when you channel ban, this is the big one too, they're not in chat. Like, you don't get to see them in chat, which, I mean, that's what happened normally.
But they can't see chat.
Yeah, but they're going to be out of the chat list too. So that's the nice thing. So, like, they're no longer listed as like that they're watching your stream, even though they still can watch your stream. That is something that we've seen from a few streamers saying, I wish they just couldn't even see the stream.
Yeah, that would be the next step. I'll just go ahead and read the full tweet from Twitch support in case anybody's just listening. They said, your well-being is important. We are taking steps to improve that, starting with your peace of mind. Blocking users now removes them from your followers list. Channel banning users will remove them from your chat list so you don't have to see them anymore. I think there was something that was missed on some people on Twitter. Big surprise. But I think those first two sentences, your well-being is important, and we are taking steps to improve that, starting with your peace of mind. I think a lot of people are underestimating what this step is doing for a lot of people, especially targeted people, especially people who face repeated types of harassment. Rini, do you want to talk a little bit more about that and what that really means?
Yeah, so as we talked about earlier with the discussion that happened last night on Stream Scene, um, it's I don't want to say it's really hard to be a streamer because it's a really complex thing. Um, but people can just be rude. They can just be horrible. And the way that some streamers are targeted, there was discussions about like, having that LGBT plus tag. Like, people come in there either to find the community that they want, and so they can actually have people there who can support them, can help them out, they can ask questions, they can feel safe. But then people also use the tag just to target people. Even just today, we're going to talk about meme culture later on. Just looking for like examples of different like mod memes that I could just throw in as a joke. Like, there's some horrible stuff out there, and it was kind of surprising. I don't want to say surprising to find. It's just one of those like, I guess I am very fortunate to live in some very well-behaved communities, and we just don't tolerate that stuff. And that's one of those things, like, as a mod, part of your job is to keep those communities as, I don't want to say safe havens, but like as valuable spaces for people to create relationships, friendships, to keep your streamers sane, because this is their place.
Yes. I was just going to mention that this is your streamer's job. Not every time. A lot of people do it part-time.
For our
A lot of
hobbyists,
people,
yeah.
yeah, a lot of people do it as hobbyists, but for a lot of people, streaming is their job. And this helps. Imagine having a harassing coworker. You go to work every day and you deal with the same person every day, and it makes you dread going into work. This takes at least some steps to alleviate that same type of feeling, where you know that this troll or this harasser is going to be in your chat every single day, even if they're not. There are situations where a streamer knows exactly who they don't want watching them, but they can be upset just by seeing their name in the followers list, or in the current viewers list. That is actually a thing, and it is very important. That's why I wanted to kind of dote on that well-being and peace of mind part, because for a lot of people who have been targeted more than the rest of us, especially, that little step of not being able to see that follower is a huge amount of peace of mind, and something that you should be absolutely grateful for. I did, like I said, I saw some really bad takes on Twitter. If you don't think that this is important, and you don't think that it has anything to do with well-being or peace of mind, then be thankful that you and your streamer or yourself have not been targeted in such a way that this doesn't seem like a bigger deal to you, because this is a big deal. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, I had a personal situation at my university where I was harassed by another student, and the university's response was to place a no contact order, but they refused to take that student out of the 75% of the classes that we shared together. And so that didn't really make university a safe place for me. And so this is a very similar thing. Like, you're not having that trigger in there, which I know people joke around triggers, but they're real. And this is making Twitch a better place for our streamers.
Yeah, it's a huge step. I'm gonna go ahead and move past our slide about the mod view.
I love mod view so much. match.
This is a great tweet, and again, I'll read it out. It's from Devin Nash talking about a little bit more of what they do. So we've talked about how it removes them so that they can't see the chat. Obviously, it still makes it so that they can't chat, and we've talked about how it removes them from the viewers list. But there actually is even more to this that goes a little bit behind the scenes more. So this is the tweet from Devin Nash. The Twitch ban update is one of the more severe a social platform has implemented. If you ban a person, then they can no longer see chat, but also any additional accounts they create are IP shadow banned. So they can post messages, but nobody can see them. He followed up, for context clarity, we tested this using main and alt accounts. Unbanning removes the shadow ban from all accounts. I'm a fan of giving more power to broadcasters. These new tools enable us to curate toxicity from our communities with more reliability. So, shadow banning.
Yeah, this is a big thing. There's a lot of positive and I don't want to say negative.
Pros and cons.
Yeah, pros and cons to this. Honestly, shadow banning is a really interesting thing because it's happening on a lot of platforms. And part of me likes it because, like, yeah, if someone's, misbehaving, I don't want them in chat anymore. But does it serve a purpose to have it so they feel like they're still talking in chat and still reacting to people, even though no one can see them? Like, granted, it's going to say you are banned from this, so it's...
I believe that's only on the main account.
That's true.
The main account will say you are banned from chat. If you make another account right after that using the same IP and come back, then it'll just look like you're talking. You'll see their messages. They won't see yours.
Yeah.
And there's merit to that. There's something to that.
I think it's good. At the same time, I'm very much for the direct. Nah, you're just banned. You can't talk. We can't see you. Don't spend your energy here. But then again, if they can't spend their energy there thinking that they're trolling someone, are they just going to target someone else? Yep. And how many IP shadow bans do they have to have before Twitch can actually do something else about actually getting someone off a platform?
Well, that's the same reason that we as mods report, right? Because we don't want that troll to just go into the next stream and do the same thing and just click down the list of just chatting until they've spent their afternoon trolling everybody they can. Because we all know a lot of them would do that. So I've definitely had
the troll come over on raids and host and decide that they're going to go from one channel to the next, just doing the same thing.
I do like the shadow banning because, and this is true in a lot of measures that they take on Twitch as to what they do to stop things like this. Every little bit of effort that you are making them go through to troll you is crucial. Every little step that you make them go through, if they can't immediately tell that they're shadow banned and they spend 5 minutes trolling, that means that they're spending 5 minutes not Googling how to get around an IP ban. Like, again, every little step, and I'm not saying, because again, has been mentioned in chat, a lot of these things are not that hard to get away with, or to get around. And it can be done, but again, I like those extra steps. It's like how you can make 1 million Twitch accounts with one email address. I would love it if they got rid of that and that you could only make one Twitch account per email address. Because if every troll has to go make a new email address for every account that they want to make, then I'm okay with the fact that I have to have a few Gmails for my legitimate accounts.
Yeah. That, to me, is one of those, I'm slightly hesitant about stuff like that just because I run a lot of Twitter accounts, and having to have a new email for every single Twitter account gets kind of frustrating. But, do I really need to have 15 different Twitter accounts? Probably not. Do I really need 15 different Twitch accounts when most of them are probably going to be just for memes and whatnot?
Yeah. A meme for a day.
At most, I need myself. I need my bot. And that's assuming that I'm using a bot that needs its own account. and not one just like MooBot or Nightbot, which is, hosted on the cloud.
Right. Right.
And the next slide has a lot of stuff too about some of these big concerns that are being brought up. This
Definitely.
issue of IPs and being on a changing IP, being on a university, having maybe a younger sibling or just a sibling or housemate, roommate, someone who is kind of toxic and gets themselves banned on your IP. How does that play in?
So, a few things. Just so everybody's on the same page, your IP address is kind of like a unique identifier for you on the internet. It's like your physical address. Like, I live on XX at XX Boulevard, and your IP address is kind of like it's a number that tells everyone else on the internet where to find you. Your IP is tied to your device, but not indefinitely. Your device does not always own that IP. Different devices on your network might get that IP. So some of the concern comes with, let's say every time I reboot my computer, I get a new IP address that's on my network. So basically it's like getting, it's like your neighborhood has this set of addresses, but every day you wake up, you have a new address on your same street. So my brother might do something stupid on Twitch and get his IP banned, but then we both restart our computers, and now I happen to get his IP, and he happened to get mine, so now I'm shadow banned. So that is where some of this concern is coming from. The tweet that we're addressing right now said, "Not a good feature in my opinion, simply because my IP changes a ton, and I won't be able to be involved if I land on an IP which is shadow banned. Worst, especially for public areas like colleges." It's I don't know. See, part of the reason that we can't really answer this question exactly is because we don't know exactly how Twitch has it set up on their end, whether it's going to be if you temporarily banned an IP, that would prevent people from being able to like immediately remake accounts. If you permanently banned an external facing IP, that might cause some issues like these people are talking about, especially if you're on like a public Wi-Fi. And yeah,
Yeah, what
like
happens when you're on,
Stomar
yeah, if you're at like a Starbucks, do you just screw everyone at that Starbucks?
Right. I mean, that Starbucks has a network, and that network has, up to 256 available IPs on it. And every time something restarts or reconnects to the network, it's getting assigned a new IP. So eventually, are half of those IPs going to be banned? It's hard to say. That's why I wish we had, and I did a little bit of searching for this today, but I was at work, didn't have a ton of time to find it. And if anybody has seen anything in chat, I'd like to know more about what Twitch's back end looks like this. Granted, them saying anything about it is them also telling people how to get around it, in a sense. Because the people who do want to get around it will find the Twitch FAQ and be like, oh, so they ban this way. So I don't expect them to say that
I'm not
much
laughing
about
at
it.
you. I'm laughing. Twitch just popped up something on my dashboard saying mod view is live, and I'm like, yeah, we know this.
It's already been covered. Already been covered.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think it's a potentially valid concern. Do I think it will come up that frequently or be that big of an issue? No, not really.
Because they already did release this new ban and blocked feature temporarily, found some major issues, took it off so they could fix things. I think that's going to happen again. I think they're going to push it out, make it public, and then essentially we're all going to live beta test this for them, and they're going to find some ways to fix it and improve it. So I think it's going to be like the third or fourth iteration of this tool that's going to be, great. But it's going to take some growing pains.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely excited for it. One thing I will say, another tweet we have here is what happens if there's a house with multiple Twitch users. If one gets banned, everyone else with the same IP gets shadow banned. like I said, that's kind of, even if I lived with 3 other people and they each got IP banned, the chance of me picking up one of those banned IP addresses is very slim. Um, it might happen once in a long while. Granted, it's really weird to implement that kind of thing on an IP. That there's always been that discussion when it comes to cheaters on online games. Like, are we
Mhm.
going to ban the IP? And everyone's kind of always brings up the exact same things that we're talking about right now. Is what if I'm at a public place with banned IPs, and if my IP changes down the road to something that was banned 6 months ago, am I affected? And I think with this in particular, it's gonna be something. Um, that your it's your external IP.
External.
Right, yeah, like it's not going to be your home like 192.168. It's not going to be what you see. Um the whole house could be
Could
shadow
be
banned.
the yeah.
Oh, okay, so like they're banning the like they're banning
Yeah,
your
the external.
modem.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So it could be a big issue, especially for some of
I would
these
actually
bigger places. So this public anything with a public um I mean, you're looking at universities, you're looking at offices, people stream or they watch a lot of Twitch at work, um, libraries. What about public hotspots? Like, I'm on with my internet provider has hotspots everywhere. Um, how do they implement it for there? So I'm curious to see what Twitch does for this. Um, honestly, Twitch, like staff and whatnot, if you're ever watching, if you see the VOD, reach out to us. We want to know if there's ways you could explain this further for us because this is a big concern.
yeah,
Um, and
yeah.
so, yeah, as Crystal says, like there'd have to be some kind of drop off time because you don't want to alienate huge portions, like
Right.
universities, like dorms. Well, granted, not many people are in dorms currently, but you know,
Now, right.
this is gonna be a big thing.
Yeah,
And so,
like I said earlier, it's definitely super helpful in
mhm,
stopping that person who immediately upon getting banned goes to create another IP address. That's
mhm,
fantastic. It's going to help against that. But yeah, there are a lot of longer concerns. I agree. It feels like there has to be a drop off time to this. I think it's a great step, but again, how do we know what that happens on the back end, and do we want to know if it's just going to make it easier for other people to get around it? Um,
yeah,
a lot of questions going on with that too.
yeah, um, yeah. This next one, this is just something from your own settings as in your Twitch user settings, where you can kind of see your privacy, see and block users, blocking whispers. This is just more protection that we wanted to share with you guys. Um, options that maybe people don't know that they have. Um, you can hide your subscription status. You could hide your founder's badge. Um, I think a big important one is turning off um, whispers from strangers. This can be a big thing. I know a lot of streamers have this set because you can get an influx of trolls from that. Um, turning off receiving gifts from channels you don't follow. This is an interesting one because of getting into like gift bombs and whatnot. There are actual people out there who do get upset when they are gifted subs to channels that they're not present in, and even if they are present in, I've seen people just get upset about being gifted subs, which I'm like, hey, it's free emotes for a month. I would take it, but
Yeah.
some people don't like it. I've
Well, it
also
can.
seen myself get subbed to people that I'm like, you have questionable content. I don't think I want to be affiliated with you and your numbers, but um,
Right. Well,
yeah.
and one a most of the time for mods, I would say blocking whispers from strangers is probably not a great idea. Just in case, if you're a streamer, it can be absolutely
Mhm.
super helpful, and it allows you to just, if someone wants to whisper you and they come in chat, and I've seen this a million times, is, hey, I can't whisper you, and they go, oh yeah, my whispers are off, whisper one of my
Mhm.
mods. So that's
Yeah.
a great feature. Block receiving gifts on channels you don't follow. Now, I did not know that that was a thing.
I heard
I
about it
can,
mostly from other streamers who people would come in, yeah, and be like, I was gifted a sub here, like, why? And I'm like, because we had a sub bomb, yay! And they're like, I don't want it. And I'm like,
yeah. Well,
I'm
I
sorry, you're kind of stuck with it. You can turn it off.
I totally understand. Like, can you imagine how many gift subs Dr. Disrespect gets in random channels that he would never visit, but people just decide to drop it and gift it to him? Then when he wants to go and use an emote because he's in chat, he's got 40,000 to go through and he can't find the one that he wants. That makes perfect
Yeah,
sense to me. Um, I
yeah.
do
So it's one of
remember I
those
got
things where like you have to decide whether that's a personal thing you really want. Honestly, this is something we talked about in our episode with Deem and Frank talking about mod appreciation. Gifting subs to your mods, whether that's for the channel you mod in or maybe a friend's channel you host into. Um, Honestly, I think that's kind of cool. So I wouldn't turn it off just for that. And also, I follow a lot of channels that I don't watch regularly because I like their emotes and I like them as a streamer. And I hope that I get hit by one of those sub bombs. Just
yeah,
saying. I do want the free emotes. I just can't
yeah.
be there constantly.
But no, I like that too. I'm actually probably going to go turn that on after the stream because I don't want a sub gift going to a streamer that I don't follow. If I like a streamer's emotes, I'm typically at least following them. Um,
Mhm.
I would totally go and turn that off and have no qualms about it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Also, you can get to your blocked users from here, correct?
Yeah. Which is, we have an example of for my own channel. I have censored some things, so you guys don't need to see who I've blocked. But it's neat because you'll have a whole list of who is banned, who banned them, and the date, and then you have a little trash can icon so you can remove the ban if you want to. You can search through this, so if someone comes to you in a DM and is just like, "Hey, I was banned," blah blah blah, and you work it out, you can actually go through and find their list. I will say one thing I wish Twitch would do on this list is add a reason. So when you ban someone, you can do \ban person's name reason. I wish that reason would get logged in here.
Hmm.
I know when you're just clicking the mod buttons, it just bans them goodbye. I wouldn't mind if a little like thing popped up right above the send a message chat box to say reason, and you can choose to put something there. You don't have to put something in there, but I would like the option to record the reason of why they're getting banned. Because if it's a legitimate reason, that should be in there. And then that should be something that's listed in this mod dashboard under um, your mod view and being able to see, like, this person was banned by this mod for this reason.
Yeah.
I would love to have that in there.
It would be really nice to be able to see on this list. It is still I will always suggest putting a mod comment in for anything
Mm-hmm.
like that. Especially if you're banning a user, if you can take the few seconds to put in a mod comment, it's super helpful because it's going to be the last comment that's in there
Yeah.
until they decide to ask for an unban.
Yeah.
So
And I will
it,
say, one of the things we've talked about in the past about mod comments and banning someone is typically you have to screenshot or copy that person's message before you ban them. In the new dashboard for mods, it now has why, and it has the person's comment in there. So when you're reporting that person, you can actually see what that comment still is. And so that's nice. The fact that, like, when you want to report someone, you're not going to lose the messages. Um, and we'd have to test this with other accounts, but I'm guessing that if you click a person's name in the mod actions, it goes to the users in chat module. That way you can see all of their messages. So that way you can kind of get a better grasp of, this is everything that person said. Here's what we need to report. And so that would be really nice.
I wonder if it shows. I know it had a section for automod queue. I wonder if it shows a denied message.
It does.
Okay, so when you deny a message,
Mhm.
it keeps it. Oh, that is a
Yeah.
lifesaver because it is. it's a lot harder to grab a screenshot when it denies a message and goes off into the void, and if nobody's running chatty or has a second to look into the logs. So that's super helpful. It'll help
Yeah.
moderators get that, because a lot of times it's the auto mod stuff that needs the report the most.
Yeah.
Because if auto mod caught it, it's probably pretty bad.
Yeah.
So that's pretty great. That's something that I've definitely come across with so many times. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And we do have
Yeah,
our mods testing stuff out, which I love you guys. Our mod team is amazing, and I'm so happy that you guys are testing everything for us too. Um, yeah,
very
and
helpful.
this next one is from our is the moderation settings and dashboard. This is the creator dashboard going into moderator settings. Just a few extra things you can do. The email verification. I know a few streamers who have this because it's an extra step people have to take. They have to have their email verified through Twitch just to actually be in the chat and chat. I believe last night Bloody was talking about the fact that she has this on there to kind of make people go through that extra step. The chat rules. This is just something that pops up anytime you're new to chat, anytime your cache clears and you need to go through and see this again. Followers only mode, this is up here, but followers only mode, as we know, you can see that in so many different places. So the fact that it's here is just like just the 27th place you can find this on.
Especially with the new mod view, it's right there. Boom.
Yeah. Yep. Mod tools. And this is one that's important because this is for the creator side, allows your moderators to view them. So yes, apparently you can turn this off for your moderators. I didn't know this. I think it's dumb. I don't think they should ever do that.
Yeah,
and this is another way to see the banned chatters in your channel too.
I can hardly imagine why you would ever want your moderators to not be able to see chat history and stuff, but okay, you do you, Twitch, I guess.
Yeah.
That's interesting. The email verification one is interesting too, though. I mean, if you're a smaller streamer, do you want to put that extra step in between what may be, especially if you've got 4 people in chat, nobody's really talking, and that 5th person comes in and they haven't verified their email. Are you willing to give up on that, one chatter that you might have had? So that's something that I would.
It definitely feels more for an established stream. Or if you are in one of the communities that tends to get targeted, people of color, women, LGBT, anyone who is sorry, I'm blanking on how to disabled streamers, spoony streamers, anyone who just looks different. Anyone can get targeted for any reason, honestly. So to me, it's one of those, I don't currently have it turned on. It's something I would consider if I was streaming regularly on my own channel. But it doesn't do too much because, people, was it to them to verify an email account they just made 2 minutes ago?
It goes back to that belief that you have to think that every tiny step for a troll is gonna hamper one more troll. If there's 8 steps to be able to talk in your chat, it means you're that much less likely to get trolled by, especially when it comes to people spam making accounts. If people are doing things all on the same day, these little things add up. If you're doing it for a one-time troll, if you put on followers only mode, if you do email verification, if you do all of these things, if someone wants to troll you one time, they're probably still going to do it. But, again, a lot of the things that streamers face is not just one person trying to get one word in edgewise. It's someone trying to ruin their chat, destroy the space that they've created, get on the streamer's nerves, whatever it is. Most of them are willing to do things over and over and over again, every little step. So again, email verification, unless you feel vulnerable or you feel like you're getting targeted or something like that, I probably wouldn't have it on. If you're a more established streamer or if you're experiencing more harassment, I would definitely that'd be one of the first things I'd turn on. It's just one little extra step.
Yeah. And something that Crystal mentioned, our host for Hotfix, Lucid, has apparently a new mod tool, bot tool that is set up for detecting the length of a person's account, which I mean by how new is that account, which I think is something that's really cool that more bots should build in. Like, we have followers only mode that you can follow. You have to be a follower for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. Why not have one that says, like, their account's over this age?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be great. That would be a simple thing to add in.
Just, it is a custom bot that was made for him by one of his viewers.
Yeah.
That being said, it is something that I think every bot should look at and start incorporating. For the longest time, I always thought, well, that's not an option on most bots, so it just must not be in the API. There must just not be a way to do this, because that would be such an obvious thing that you would want to prevent. But basically,
if you check anyone's name on their little user ID card for Twitch, it says account created here.
It's right there.
It should be. It's all numbers. Yeah. It should be something that can be built.
And it was. It was.
Yeah, and it can be. Yeah.
One of Lucid's followers made it. It's awesome. Basically, if someone comes in with an account that's less than like a day old, I forget exactly what they set it at, it just completely times them out for like 24 hours or a week or something. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's all automated before the person gets to post a single message. Granted, the other changes that we're talking about today may prevent a lot of the reason that this even came into place. This whole bot was created because it was so easy to make account after account after account at the same IP address and just keep on coming into chat. Yeah. So that's where this all came from. So hopefully, again, every little step is one step harder for trolls.
Yeah, it is unfortunate that like a bot like that will catch people who are legitimately, this is their first day on Twitch, and that's not a great experience to be like, hey, you seem really cool and I want to be here, but I gotta wait a day. Like, most likely they're gonna move on, which stinks. But at the same time, like, we had to get to a point where that was a thing that streamers needed, and that's kind of unfortunate.
If it's your first day on Twitch, are you really ready for Lucid Stream anyway, though?
I do want to get into this last little bit. Like, if you guys have questions, we're doing a Q&A at the very, very end. So just do !ask, put in your question. We'll get to that. But, if we don't get to questions today, that's totally cool, because I do want to talk about meme culture and modding, because that's a big thing. Like, all of these new ban features, that is going to affect a lot of our meme culture. I mean, this is one that my co-mod from Laffy Taffy's channel, Stevie, mentioned in chat earlier. When you have to add or ban reasons, most of us in our channel is going to be like, it's a meme ban, because we just ban people because it's funny.
Yeah, we do it all the time. All the time.
And we have alt accounts to come back and joke, and it's all innocent. It's nothing that's actually breaking the rules. I mean, technically it's ban evasion still, but like, yeah. As Gomar says, it's going to be meme purging, meme timeouts. These are how we're going to have to move to things. Like, the ban is going to be a little bit harsher. And we have things too, like, you can ban a mod in many people's channels for money, and that's a incentive type thing. This is going to change that.
Yeah, they should have the issue resolved with like any privileges or anything being taken away. From what I understand, once you're unbanned, everything goes back to normal. The shadow ban goes away. One thing that I definitely see happening is we get a lot of people in chats that will make meme names and then gift a sub to that meme name. So if you've got... Someone will be talking about how it's Loco's birthday, and she'll say it's not, and then someone will go make an account that's called Loco's birthday is hype, and then they'll gift a sub to that account. And we generally don't like those names in chat. So we had been in the process of saying like, hey, those meme names aren't that cool. Let's not do that. Ban that account. But now it's like, well, we know that that's a regular viewer. That's not someone that we actually want banned. We just don't want that particular username to be in chat. So that's where I think it does come down to like, hey, don't do this. We don't like this account. Ban or time out for 7 days.
Yeah.
And hope that they forget about it and don't come back with it. But yeah, can we get longer timeouts because of this? That's a great question. I would love to be able to time out for a year. I've tried it, I think.
Yeah. It's interesting too, because like we do a lot of those kind of meme subs for Jokes and Taffy's channel as well. Well, they're typically not accounts that we've created, they're accounts we've searched for. And so that's going to be interesting too. Like, I don't know. The meme culture goes beyond just just banning for mods. There's sort of this unwritten thing that the biggest trolls in chat are actually your mods. And so I think that all comes from knowing your place as a mod, knowing where that line is, because we're the person that has to know where that line is with our streamer and has to know where to toe it. I'm just wondering, like, how do you deal with situations where it's gone too far? Like, how can you read into your streamer to knowing, like, hey, maybe we're memeing too much, or maybe it's too many of us memeing all at the same time. Like, I don't know. I sometimes feel like after a while, I'm like, I feel bad, and I'm just like,
memes go too far. A lot of the time.
Should we have not done this? Like, is this streamer actually annoyed with me? Like,
yeah, it's something we always got to keep an eye out for, I suppose. We a lot of times you can get yelled at on Discord by your streamer. If you're streaming, I honestly think that is the way to do it. If you need to handle your mods memeing too much, or if you as a mod are concerned that the mods are memeing too much, that's something for your private mod Discord. It is not something that you want to bring up on stream, especially if you're the streamer. You do not want to be like actually publicly chastising. Like the meme getting yelled at by your streamer, like, everybody does that, but we also know that they're not really mad at us. Don't actually get mad at your streamers while you're live, or your mods while you're live. It's not a good
and if you need to tell a mod to like take 10, maybe do it up as a joke and be like, I'm gonna ban you for 10, and then send them a quick little message saying, hey, this is kind of crossed the line, can you step back for a bit? Like, finding out ways to actually communicate with your team to say, hey, even if you just need to have like some quick emoticon or something quick you can say or do so mods know, hey, we've crossed the line, but chat doesn't have to know about it. That way it can get your point across without having to make it public, and you can do it quickly. Like, I have friends who, as a couple, when they were fighting, they would or when they were upset with the other person, they would text a particular emoji to each other and be like, hey, I'm not in a good mood right now. This is not the time. Just to let them know. And it was just something that kind of gives them a heads up. And I think that's not a bad idea to be like, hey, maybe we need to have this. If this is happening more than once, then maybe you need to talk to them about it. But like, I think having this kind of safety measures isn't bad.
Yeah. If it's something that happens, talk about it beforehand. And with that, we're like super running out of time. I
want to get to our question at the very bottom really quick.
Yes.
We did have someone submit a question to us on Twitter. And I think it's really important to get to, because this does get into this whole like interacting with your mod team. And it's, how do you act when you determine how to handle a situation in chat? And then another mod overrides you. Like, you don't want to start an argument, so you just let them do it, even if you think what they were doing was a little harsh on how they handled it. So how do you do that? Like, when mods disagree on what should be happening in chat.
Discord mod chat. Yep. I think you talk to each other, you try and get a consensus. If the room still feels split, then you say, let's table this and let's ask the streamer when their stream is over. Don't bother the streamer with it there. Go on as you would, I would say. Try not to let it get to the point where you're actually arguing with them. Just make your case. If it doesn't look like if it's 5-1 and you're the one person, understand that you may be overruled here. But if it's 3-3 at the end of the day, ask your streamer when stream is over. Say, hey, this is how we handled that situation. We disagreed. What would you like us to do?
Yeah. And it's also one of those things of, if you see that another mod has already addressed an issue, back them up, or maybe contact them behind the scenes in that mod chat saying, hey, maybe we should actually do this instead. Like, I think this warranted this, not that. But I feel like if you're already seeing a mod do something, it's really important to have their backs and to be like, hey, this, or even like, there's a lot of jokes too about like, so-and-so is the nice mod, which that's totally fine to say in chat. Like, oh, hey, that person's the nice mod. I would have done this to you. Like, I would have totally banned you for that. But like, you got the nice mod this time. And so that way it lets them know that, not necessarily that lets the other mods know, but lets the person in chat know, hey, what you did really wasn't cool to a lot of us. You just got lucky. And honestly, the streamer takes priority. I've actually had times where in a stream trying to keep people from backseating, the streamer's like, dang, she's going hard today, like, to make sure that we're not having spoilers. Like, she's taking everything out. This person's not getting a break. And it's like, that's when I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to back down a little bit. Maybe I am being a little too overprotective, which I try to express in chat. Like, hey, we want him to have a spoiler-free, fresh experience with this game. It's no backseating. It's a blind playthrough. And I'm going to be overprotective. These are purges. They're not personal.
Yeah. Yeah, that can happen a lot in backseating streams. Well, we've definitely got to get going here because we've got another show coming up right after this. Like, literally, you don't need to even... I mean, you can go grab a snack or grab some water, but it's going to be, like, right now. Like, don't touch that dial.
And it's perfect because our lovely Professor Dan is going to be talking about streamer attitudes. This is a perfect time because, like, not only are we dealing with everyone's kind of cooped up, things are changing, but, like... there's a lot going around. A lot of people are in streams now because they're watching, because they have more free time. This is the perfect time to talk about why our streamer attitudes are more important than ever.
That's awesome. As always, I've been Wes Sisa. You can find me on Twitter if you want. Otherwise, you're going to find me modding for Loco and Lucid, or hanging out here, or hanging out in one of those Discords for one of them. So join our Discord. Stay tuned for Dano coming right off after this. And Rini.
I'm Rini, Adorkable Me. You can find me in McLaffy Taffy's stream in the mornings, or here every other time, or playing Animal Crossing, because that's what I'm going to do as soon as we sign off to this. So, thank you so much for being here.
Can you finish it?
Stay tuned for Dan's Stream of Thought. Thank you so much for everything, guys, and I hope you enjoy ModView. Tell us how you like it.
Yes, tell us. Oh, tweet at us about it. I'm so excited. All right, take care, everyone.